Namaste, Jai Bharat. True, there were digital signatures from Donald Trump and the Iranian speaker. They were supposed to meet, I think yesterday, yesterday, tomorrow, one of these days, in Switzerland. Digitally signed. It's not a deal, as Trump often says. That's simply a memorandum of understanding between these two nations of ceasefire. Everything was ready, and as I've told you, Pakistan was all enthusiastic, but they were not invited for the lunch, so they remained back. Qatar, of course, played the role. But then, what do you think of Israel? They were not playing. They are very clear. They are not confused people. They had very clear visions, clear understandings, clear objectives. What they are doing, they know. They are not a bunch of idiots, the Jews. They are very sensible. Not because I'm a Hindu I'm supporting. They are so. Israel will not stop attacking Hezbollah. Hezbollah, is it a nation? No. Hamas, is it a nation? No. They are terrorist groups. And one of the conditions of Iran is that Israel should stop attacking Hezbollah. Israel never said that they will stop attacking Hezbollah. They can't afford to do so. Because if Israel listens to the Hollywood film plans of Trump, they will cease to exist. They deserve to exist. Israel as a nation deserves to exist. Jews as a community deserves to exist, perhaps more than all others. So they would not stop. They are not a part of this memorandum of understanding which is digitally signed between US and Iran. They are not a part of it. I don't think they were consulted, and I don't think they have given their consent. But this all went ahead, and you think Israel will stop it? What they started, they have to finish before they stop. Whatever President Trump does, he always leaves half the way and also loses whatever he had been speaking of, and he goes back not just back to square one. He goes back to several minor square ones, really behind, much behind from where he had started. If you look at the history of things that he had been doing, this is perceivable, especially when it deals with large nations, not small nations like Venezuela who are absolutely helpless. Iran, they are fighters, and you just can't get them to surrender as easy as you think. Anyway, so Hezbollah, Hamas, etc., the proxies of Iran well known to everyone. And the present IRGC regime, actually it's not Iran, I should not be speaking as Iran, it's IRGC regime. The IRGC regime wanted Israel's attack on Hezbollah also to end through these kind of memorandum of understanding to save their proxy for tomorrow's use. This is very clear and obvious. So, and Israel wouldn't budge. There were conflicts between them. 4 tanks or something of Israel on the land of Lebanon. That's not against Lebanon, against Hezbollah, were attacked, and IDF soldiers were killed. Israel is not going to stop it. Benjamin Netanyahu cannot afford to say yes to Trump's folly. His people would finish him if he does so. He has to face his people, elections impending. He'll have problems otherwise. Great leader, nonetheless, with great vision, a great leader, very powerful leader. I think Israel needs this person who is strong. So he can't make such small mistakes, which can be largely reflecting on his career. So they did not. The war continues, the fight continues, and then of course, Iran needs some pretext to stay away from signing a memorandum of understanding. Iran means IRGC. IRGC wants some alibi not to sign this memorandum of understanding. They got this. Even otherwise, Hezbollah is their child, and they want they want Hezbollah to be safe, because Hezbollah is the one which they are going to use in future also. So with the Israel Hezbollah conflict fight, IRGC suddenly says that we are not going to sign the accord. We are not going to Switzerland. US also can't go to Switzerland, no point. In the meantime, Qatar got trapped in between these two people, kept on requesting both parties, come over, discuss, come over, discuss. So the present situation is that some people from IRGC, some people as representatives of IRGC, and some people from the America's representatives, names are there, are reaching Warsaw, I suppose, and or Switzerland, wherever, for negotiations again, for discussions, not to respect the memorandum of understanding digitally signed, but perhaps everything will start afresh. So the hope that the world had been hoping for, which is a cessation of Iran-US conflict, IRGC withdraws. We don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully things will settle down. We shall meet. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Siya Ram.